this was great. This is Pantsless Stranger, Days of Future's End. This was a one-shot, and it is really good. It has no noticeable connection to Days of Future's End. They could put this out now as part of that other future one they are doing, and it wouldn't really matter. The stuff that are now from Days of Future's End, like Beyond Batman or The Borg, they are not even alluded to in this. And what we have is like a one-shot called Pantsless Stranger, The End. This is written by DeMatteis, thankfully. But DiDio is given co-plot credit. But sometimes you just want to ignore the credits, didn't you? I have spoken about the New 52 Pantsless Stranger series before, and after its rocky start, the minute DeMatteis takes the reins, it actually becomes good. And maybe even like my favourite New 52 book. Not that that is as high praise as it sounds. I liked it, but it never really had an ending. It kind of just got cancelled, and then they rebooted it as Trinity of Sin, which I never read, and I think was cancelled after 5 issues anyway. Maybe in that there was something of an ending to this character's story, but what this one shot felt like to me was the long-awaited final chapter in this story. One of the ongoing things with this book was Pantsless Stranger trying to redeem himself, and this was represented with the pieces of silver he had around his neck. They were the 30 pieces of silver that he got in exchange for betraying Jesus Christ of Nazareth. The New 52, it committed to the idea that Pantsless Stranger was Judas Iscariot from the Bible, and from the name of the rock music band Judas Priest. Before this, it was only ever a suggestion or a possibility. For this issue, we are at a point where Pantsless Stranger, he has worked off all of his sins. He has no more silver coins left. He has redeemed himself, and now all that remains is for him to stand before the Council of Eternity and once more be judged. But times have changed, or in the words of Bob Dylan, the times, they are a-changin', and the Council of Eternity have all been replaced. There is a new Council of Eternity, and they are to judge Pantsless Stranger. But things are not great, because this new council is comprised of a bunch of arch-villains and Pantsless Stranger's nemesises, like Trigger up here, and then we also have Calypso. I won't go out all 7 of them here. Some of them are just from earlier in this series, whereas others, like Calypso, they are more general DC Universe threats. The only friend that Pantsless Stranger has on this committee is Archangel, except not even Archangel, because they have been corrupted by Trigger, and they are now Trigger's sex slave. That's not sexy, because it isn't a beautiful bald woman doing it to a pathetic person like me. And Pantsless Stranger, he ain't too happy because obviously this whole proceeding is going to be just a sham. It'll be a total farce. All these supposedly non-biased judges, they all hate him or have a personal vendetta against him. So after a while, they propose to him that he betrays God and he helps them overthrow the heavenly hierarchy, or as I call it, the cloud patriarchy. Hashtag afterlife sexism. They try to convince him that he shouldn't side with God because God has never done out for him, even after Pantsless Stranger has supposedly atoned for his great sin. Well, God stacked the odds against him with this kangaroo corps of evil demons and Republic serial villains. That is a reference to the best-selling graphic novel Watching Men. But Pantsless Stranger, he refuses to ally with the council. He won't give them his magic necklace that allows the wearer to enter heaven. And even though he is outnumbered and outpowered and being offered salvation by these evil beings, he refuses because he knows it is wrong. He has already lived a long life trying to make up for one great sin. He knows not to make another one like this. And when things look like they are over for Pantsless Stranger, God arrives, the real one, the one from the Bible. And God is a dog, because that was something we saw in this series. When God wished to speak to humans or Pantsless Stranger, God manifested in the form of a dog. Maybe it was a typo in the script and they just stuck with it. I take issue with a lot of depictions of God in comic books. I'm not religious, but I usually find it a bit offensive or wrong to drag what is meant to be the object of religious faith into a comic book story and graft your own character or personality quirks onto them. But this series mostly did it well, and I really like this scene here because God, he is going to wreck these evil demons, and he asks Pantsless Stranger to leave because what happens next is not for your eyes. We didn't see what God does. It is left to your imagination. So much like the concept of God itself, it's up to you to believe how righteous or vengeful or forgiven God can be. But because of all this, Pantsless Stranger, he still finds himself caught in the fallout of it, and he's trapped in like a whirlpool. But it's okay since it is a happy ending where he reunites with his true love, the wife from earlier in this series. They are reunited and they do a kiss, and everything is happy now. God, he has seen Pantsless Stranger's actions and considers him to have atoned. And now Pantsless Stranger, He goes off to once more be pantsless stranger, but this time without the burden of his penance hanging over his head. He is just a servant of God. Well done. Congratulations to everyone involved. You managed to do an appropriate and satisfying conclusion to this version of Pantsless Stranger. I like the cover image as well. The bit in the middle anyway, the trade dress, the border, is a bit pointless, but it's a good cover picture of Pantsless Stranger. Before I say that I give it 7 thumbs up, you might want to check that you have caught all my recent videos, because I put out a haul video yesterday, and there are unboxing videos going out this week, and they tend to go out 3 hours before the reviews day. I rate this Pantsless Stranger comic 7 divine thumbs up.